Welcome to Beyond China. Today, we're diving into a story from Australia that may shed light on rarely seen facets of China's power elite. A 23-year-old woman, reportedly holding an immense fortune worth trillions of yuan, more than the GDP of some small countries. She drives a seven-figure Rolls-Royce through Sydney, lives in a penthouse overlooking the Opera House, and yet there is almost no public information about her. No social media, no businesses, no trail.
Today's story isn't just about a traffic collision. It may be a doorway into the secretive world of China's so-called Princelings, children of the powerful who can influence the destiny of 1.4 billion people while living anonymously abroad.
In the early hours of July 26, 2025, in Rose Bay, one of Sydney's most affluent suburbs, Lanlan Yang was driving a Rolls-Royce Cullinan against traffic on New South Head Road. A violent head-on collision followed. Her ultra-luxury SUV slammed into a Mercedes driven by George Plasaris, the personal chauffeur of Australian radio host Kyle Sandilands. George was trapped in the wreckage, suffering a spinal fracture, multiple broken ribs, internal injuries, fractures to both hips and both femurs. Doctors had to amputate his right leg to save his life. He fought on the edge of life and death, stuck in the car for 30 minutes before rescue.
Locals later called it the most horrific crash they had seen in more than 20 years. But what shocked people even more was Yang's reaction. According to witness statements, after stepping out of her car, Yang left the scene, leaving a pair of designer Gucci loafers on the sidewalk. About a minute later, she returned. But instead of calling an ambulance or checking on George, she took out her phone and called a lawyer. While an innocent person was fighting for his life, the person who caused the crash prioritized protecting herself. That alone raised questions about the mindset of the privileged.
When police arrived, Yang returned a positive result for alcohol. At the station, she refused more detailed testing, reportedly on her lawyer's advice. She was charged with 3 offenses, including dangerous driving causing serious injury. Given the victim's condition, the potential sentence could be up to 25 years. But the biggest jolt came from the bail figure. Yang was released on bail reportedly set at AUD $70 million, a record in Australia. To put that in perspective, AUD 70 million is larger than the defense budget of some small nations. Her ability, or that of whoever stands behind her, to post such a sum suggests a far greater fortune. Some sources speculate her accounts exceed 1 trillion yuan, about USD $140 billion. However, note, these are unverified rumors.
How does a 23-year-old with no registered companies and no public career come to possess such wealth? Yang lives in a penthouse in Vaucluse, a property worth tens of millions of Australian dollars with direct views of Sydney's icons. Beyond the Cullinan, she reportedly owns at least 1 phantom convertible. Her car interiors are filled with limited edition Labubu art toys worth thousands each, collectibles typically chased by wealthy connoisseurs. According to Australian media, when appearing for court-related matters, Yang wore Chanel couture worth tens of thousands, with bespoke jewelry estimated in the hundreds of thousands.
When leaving the police station, she wore a Chanel haute couture dress valued at over $18,000, paired with the Chanel hat over $3,000. She is often seen in Miu Miu sunglasses priced around $750. Other reports say individual bespoke jewelry pieces can run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars each. For many people, these items would be a lifetime's worth of assets. For Yang, they appear to be everyday accessories. Yet the strangest part, she is almost non-existent online. No social media, no LinkedIn, no companies registered in her name, no public property records. In the digital age, such invisibility suggests that someone may be shielding her identity.
Observers point to her given name, Lanlan, as a possible clue, arguing it aligns with naming patterns among China's princeling families. Journalist Chang Lei explains that double-character given names are often used for children of senior leaders, signaling they won't enter frontline politics and will instead be protected in the shadows. China's media response has fueled further suspicion. While Australian outlets covered the case intensely, mainland Chinese state media were almost completely silent. Only a local paper carried a brief mention. Posts about Yang on Chinese social platforms were reportedly removed, and discussion accounts were locked. Such across-the-board silence is usually interpreted as a sign of instructions from very high up.
At her first court hearing, Lanlan Yang did not appear in person. Instead, she joined via video link from her lawyer's office, a decision that only deepened the mystery surrounding her. The entire session lasted less than 15 minutes before being adjourned to September 26, 2025. So far, 4 main theories continue to circulate about her identity: descendant of a senior Chinese leader, the unusual double name Lanlan, the enormous unexplained wealth, and the silence of Chinese state media all point in this direction. A nominee or figurehead used for money laundering. With no registered companies, no career history, and no public footprint, Yang may be a front, holding assets on behalf of others. A member of a powerful clan with multi-generational influence. Many of China's red nobility families maintain vast overseas wealth even without direct political roles. A concealed out-of-wedlock child of someone at the very top. Rumors suggest she could be protected because of sensitive family connections. Whichever theory proves true, the common thread is clear. Yang is highly unlikely to be a self-made 23-year-old entrepreneur. Everything about her points to the existence of a powerful network behind her. The case shines a light on broader issues: staggering social inequality, the flight of capital across borders, the lack of systemic transparency, and the ability of elites to control media coverage. It also raises uncomfortable questions for Western countries. Are places like Australia, Canada, and the US unintentionally becoming safe havens for money laundering by foreign power elites? And then there are the real-life details that strengthen the suspicion she is being shielded at the highest level. The constant bodyguard. Each time Yang appeared in public, she was shadowed by a middle-aged man in a baseball cap, believed to be both her driver and personal security. The Toyota Velfire. Instead of arriving in a Rolls-Royce, she used a 100,000 AUD Toyota MPV, luxurious for most, but modest compared to her multi-million-dollar cars. Analysts saw it as a deliberate attempt to stay low profile. The ATM cash withdrawal. On August 13th, she was filmed withdrawing a stack of $50 bills, an odd sight for someone rumored to control billions, and widely viewed as a staged attempt to appear ordinary. The elite legal team. Yang is defended not by a regular lawyer, but a high-powered legal squad of Western and Chinese Australian attorneys, including a seasoned barrister known for handling sensitive, high-stakes cases. All of this, the bodyguard, the modest car, the staged normalcy, the powerhouse lawyers, adds up to one conclusion. Lanlan Yang is not acting alone. She is surrounded by wealth, protection, and influence far beyond the reach of an ordinary young woman.
The Lanlan Yang case is ongoing. The upcoming hearing will be closely watched, not only as a traffic case, but as a mirror reflecting the interplay of power, money, and cross-border justice. Personally, I think whatever the ultimate truth is,
This case has offered a rare glimpse into how certain privileged circles live and how they're protected. It makes one wonder, if facts can be obscured even in Sydney, how much more remains unseen elsewhere? Who do you think Lanlan Yang is? A scion of the powerful, or merely a front in an international laundering network? And will justice be done for George Placeris? Share your thoughts below. We'll continue to monitor and report on new developments in the Lanlan Yang case. This isn't only an attention-grabbing crash, it raises broader questions about wealth, power, and transparency across borders. Thank you for watching Beyond China. Please subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next analysis. We believe that with more information and multi-angle perspectives, we can better understand what's happening around us.